There was actually a professional body of historians, but at the same time, there wasn't a systematic history of Kerala as such. And that was actually provided by Sreedharamenon. And then most of us who studied in school during the late 70s or early 80s found in our history textbooks a particular description of Kerala's history, which actually the source of that history that we studied in school was Sreedharamenon's writing, because what he accomplished was to take many of the existing understanding about Kerala history through Ilangulam and many other writers, systematize them in a way that it is intelligible to people, so that you tend to you begin to believe that there is a certain way of understanding history of Kerala. I mean, it was, and then another thing is that his history was very different from the kind of traditional, conventional history that we are familiar with. Like, you only look at the genealogy of kings. But his way was not that. I mean, he was actually writing about people's movements, Renaissance movements, and then various other currents that were quite prominently seen in the recent history of modern Kerala. So he was actually engaging himself with that kind of currents also. Of course, I mean, there were many criticism about his historiography. Later on also we have, kind of occasions to look at critically at his writing. I mean, like, if he is criticized, that means he said something. I mean, if you don't contribute anything, nobody will actually be bothered about your work. I mean, so the basic contribution that Professor Sreedharamenon provided for all of us, I mean, who are interested in Kerala history, is that he systematized Kerala history for the first time, and in a way that was intelligible for students, in a way that was intelligible for the lay persons. And that is a very important contribution. I mean, it is on the edifice of that contribution that Professor Sreedharamenon made that we built our historical understanding later on by recognizing his writing, by criticizing his writing, by expanding his writing, by kind of contributing, supplementing to the corpus of writing that Sreedharamenon brought up. So that is actually the point where I want to begin this lecture, because one of the things that I wanted to precisely point out about Professor Sreedharamenon's contribution is not only this systematization, this preliminary systematization that he was able to do as a gazette editor. Beyond that, he held a particular point of view about Kerala history, which I think is very important for us to remember at this point. Kerala history, I mean, not only Kerala history, Kerala society. Kerala society had a certain way of understanding Travancore history. Because, Travancore, there is a Travancore dynasty. I mean, from the time of Marthandavarma onwards, there is a way in which we in Travancore, I mean, I'm also a Travancorean.